We're actually going to start things off by checking in with my buddy Tanya Rush, who is caught up with a very special guest in our Cocoa Kitchen. And Tanya, all I know is this VIP has really a fun night planned with lots of food and lots of beer.
Oh, you're on the right track. It's called Pints and Bites with a host here who's bringing out 30 different beers statewide, 23 menu items. This is all for you, our viewers, to taste test tonight. That should get your taste buds a-jumping, so keep it here as we dish out the details. What do you say? Let's give everyone a big cheers. Cheers! Woo! Not going to tell you yet. And cheers to you, Denise. It's sure to be a fun night.
Wait a minute, I don't find out who it is yet?
Oh, not yet, but I'm going to taste this beer.
Oh my gosh. It's Colorado's First Lady, Jeannie Ritter. Welcome to the show. Our own Meals in a Rush gal, Tanya Rush, is in the Cocoa Kitchen learning a few things from Mrs. Ritter about different beer and food combinations in preparation for tonight's Pints and Bites. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back to Colorado and Company. First Lady Jeannie Ritter and Tanya Rush are teaming up once again, this time for a really hip evening at the Governor's Mansion for Pints and Bites. Now, some of you may remember that these two gals have met before. It was a year ago in our studio that Colorado Governor Bill Ritter, Mrs. Ritter, and Tanya sat down together to discuss the Ritters' life before making the big move to the Governor's Mansion. Now, that interview was about their life together in Africa, which actually led to something very, very special for all of them. The story of Governor Bill Ritter and Mrs. Ritter gave Tanya her very first Emmy this year. Tanya now joins Mrs. Ritter in the Cocoa Kitchen for a taste test of something that's happening tonight. Ladies, over to you. Don't get too wild on me now.
I know, but you know, this is so wonderful for me to have you back on Colorado and Company because I get to share my joy and my excitement about your story. And it has such a powerful thing. It has such a special place in my heart. So thank you so much for that.
That really came through, Tanya, in that story.
Well, it was neat to share with everyone. And clearly, a lot of people took great interest in your story. And for those who may not know, your life in Zambia started in 1987. You moved there with your husband. Right. Your son also had a child over there. For people who don't know what you did, share that with our viewers.
Well, you know, our time there was spent running a nutrition center. So it really was getting goods from the main capital out to the bush and the folks that worked out there, and it was a fascinating time in our lives.
And it was a whole distribution center that included the chickens.
That's right. We had a big chicken project and a fisheries project. We had some great stuff going on.
And had a child over there.
That's right. Came back with Abraham.
Just such a different life, and that got you to the Governor's Mansion. We're seeing some of that video right now, and food has played such a big role in your life, both in Africa, and you're getting ready to feed people in Colorado, and you're having something really special tonight, Pints and Bites. Pints and Bites, and you're hosting a big party, Mrs. Ritter.
Well, you're
going to get crazy, aren't you?
No, it's not just a party, but this is really our opportunity, Tanya, as we were saying earlier at the break, to showcase the bounty of Colorado, and we have so many things that we are fiercely proud of from all corners of our state, and we thought we'd showcase some of the craft breweries. Colorado hosts more craft breweries than almost any other state.
This is going to be statewide with all the different beers.
Absolutely. We really want to make a showcase of this event. And then we couldn't do it without partnering some of the great foods that come off the farms here in Colorado. And we have 5 or 6 farms and folks coming forward to really pair these two things together and educate folks on this.
Well, and this is important to you as well because it's preserving that history in the mansion and also a broader perspective of what you like to call Colorado's home. What do you mean by that?
Well, you know, this residence, it sits on a 4-acre site, and that's why we have a unique opportunity tonight between 5 and 7 to open it up, the whole thing, for folks to see it. It really is not just a metrocentric building. It really represents the place where so many conversations about civic engagement and leadership development can take place, and clearly about what we have here as a state to really showcase and let folks know about.
Isn't it neat, Mrs. Ritter, the power of the meal? Food, it brings people together, it makes people happy. Add a little beer, that's even better. And you're actually going to also have different showcases of food as well, different stations set up.
Beautiful foods coming in. If we could bring Tiffany.
Yeah, Tiffany,
Come on in. Tiffany is at the Culinary School of the Rockies, and they've come off the farm here recently. So talk to us about that From the Farm to the Table program you guys have.
Well, we spent a week at the Boulder Farm at Abaddon's and Oxford Farms, and then we went up to Paonia and Hotchkiss for 10 days. And we worked on vineyards, breweries, and farms. We built a turkey house out of clay and hay, you know. So it's pretty interesting to go and pick food all morning and then go home that night and be able to cook a big dinner for all of the farmers as well.
Well, Mrs. Ritter and Tiffany, we were speaking before the show that a lot of people, that has been forgotten where the food comes from.
Yeah.
It's not just from the grocery store, it's from the farm. You work for that, and you saw that.
Exactly, and the food that you buy at the grocery store tastes completely different than the food that you could go to the farmer's market and get from the farmers. You know, it tastes completely different, it cooks different, and it is so much better because if you just cook with the food from the farm, you can really just highlight the taste that the food has naturally instead of just adding all of these complicated ingredients as well.
So tonight you'll be there along with other students from,
yes,
from
we
the
will.
school?
There'll be 13 students dressed in our white coats serving everybody, so you know everyone can ask questions on how we prepared everything. We didn't really know the menu or what the farmers were going to give us until Monday afternoon. So
Isn't that great to see what came
Well,
in, see what the harvest is.
Yeah.
And so you're going to have the beer and a lot of food and entertainment. What's on tap for
We
that?
have a great band. The Hellcats, I believe they are.
Ooh.
No, I mean
You're getting rowdy.
It sounds like it's going to be a perfect mix. But I didn't take it as seriously until I sat down with the kids from the culinary school and the Colorado Breweries Guild to understand the partnership between how you can augment the taste of both of these items, the brews and the food.
Yeah,
so
the pairing.
Really, yeah, the pairings are really an important part of it. So I'm looking forward to the opportunity to be educated myself and really have such a close range to the folks who are really making this happen. Will make it a really unique event.
Now, Mrs. Ritter, can people buy tickets
right at the door tonight? We're opening the doors, welcoming folks. Tickets are at $100 a piece, or if you come by twos, it's $150 for $2. And as we said, this is really to raise funds for that mansion and continue to open it up in a way to get folks there that have maybe never had an experience there before.
You know, and that's such a neat part of it because there is so much history in there.
Yeah,
with each governor and first lady that have lived there, and to preserve that is so important.
It really has impacted our state in ways that folks are sometimes not aware of. So it's a great opportunity for us to bring the link. It's 100 years old, Tanya. We celebrated 100 years last year. So this is really part of what we're driving.
And before we close, you have a special glass here you've been excited about.
This is our tasting glass, and it's a commemorative piece that has the Betcher Mansion logo and the Colorado Brewers Guild along with the Culinary School of the Rockies. And this is what folks will be sampling from, rinsing, and then back to sampling again.
More food.
Absolutely.
Well, let's give a big cheers here.
Here's to you.
To a wonderful evening, and to
Tiffany,
you as well.
thanks for coming on board.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Cheers. Cheers.
Thanks,
It's a
ladies.
party. Denise.
Hey.
Over to you, and cheers to you. And I am saving you some bubbly brew, girl.
Thank you. Save me a glass of that fun, ladies.
Delicious.